A Socon season of curiosity and intrigue concludes today here at the 2021 Ingalls Southern Conference Women's Championship presented by General Shale. It's Championship Sunday. What a battle we have in store for you as the number 4 seed Wofford Terriers take on the number 2 seed Mercer Bears. Here's how we've arrived. Wofford will play in its first ever Socon women's title game with their highest seed since joining the Southern Conference back in the mid-90s. Mercer goes for a third championship in the past 4 seasons. Hi, friends, and welcome back to Asheville, North Carolina, with Robin Muller, Pete Hannity with you. So a Wofford team that's a Cinderella story in many respects coming in today. On the other hand, Robin, Mercer, a program that knows all about playing on Championship Sunday.
And that's an advantage coming into this game. You have the experience of being here. You are settled a little more. Wofford, I imagine, has some championship game jitters. First time being here. Could be a rough road to hoe for them to just kind of get in and get settled down.
Now the Terriers are experiencing their best back-to-back season since joining the Southern Conference. One of the reasons for that, Nia Lutz, a scrappy player to say the least. She does a lot of things to help Jimmy Garrity's team win.
She does all the intangibles, and she can hit shots 3 for 4 yesterday in the semifinal game. But beyond that, she's scrappy. She gets on the floor. She makes the hustle plays, gets the 50-50 balls. She's somebody that Jimmy Garrity can anchor this program around. And then for Mercer Bears, Amoria Neal-Tyser, she's had 61 points in the previous 2 games in this tournament. According to Susie Gardner, she could be streaky, and Susie just hopes that streak continues with that hot hand.
The Mercer Bears, we told you, a team that knows about winning big here in Asheville. And more on that. Here's Erin Summers. Erin?
Thanks, Pete. Playing on Sunday has become routine for the Mercer Bears. They stay at the same hotel, they eat at the same restaurants. It's the only place that Coach Gardner ever unpacks her bags throughout the season with the intention of staying all weekend. However, there was a little hiccup this morning. When the team arrived, their locker room numbers had been switched around. It didn't take long for the girls to get them back in order. Coach Gardner calls it superstition. Whatever it is, it's been working, as the Bears are making their 5th championship appearance in 6 years.
Thanks, Aaron. Robin, let's take a further look into this battle between the Terriers and Bears for the 3rd time this season. Our building blocks of the game presented by General Shale.
Wofford needs to get those free points at the free throw line. And if they're doing that, that spells aggressive play. Jimmy Garrity wants to see that. And for Mercer, their defense has to be solid. They want to force turnovers, get those extra scoring opportunities.
Aaron Doherty, Jamari McDavid, the jump at midcourt, and we're underway on Championship Sunday here in Asheville, North Carolina. A Mercer Bears team that had a rare down season a year ago under Susie Gardner, who's done a phenomenal job leading that program. Jada Lewis, number 13, a Georgia State grad transfer, has been a big addition. Doherty, one of the holdovers, feigned the rebound off the Doherty miss. And then a second time works for the junior post player out of Beaufort, Georgia. In a scrap with the defender Lewis, but Lutz able to convert.
Great hustle by Alea Harris. Just lost the handle, but was able to recover it, finding Lutz, who I like how she used the shot fake. She knows that this is a team that will bite on that. They like to block some shots or at least attempt, and she was able to get the defense in the air and find a seam to the basket.
Neal-Tyser, shot clock under 10. Bears going for a 19th win of the season. Doherty forcing off the glass. Hatton the rebound. Wofford a chance to take its first lead of the afternoon.
I think the fact that Wofford did take Mercer into double overtime in Macon, Georgia, has really given them confidence for this particular ball game. They know that they can play with Mercer. They know that if they're executing their game plan, that they can make this a tough ball game for Mercer.
Almost a turnover by Harris after Doherty picked up her 20th block of the season. Doherty. In the early going, she's 2 of 6.
9 boards for Mercer, 7 for Wofford, the number 1 rebounding team in the league.
Miss inside. Matthews couldn't get it to go down, and then Alexis Tomlin unable to handle the rebound. Jill Harris is the understudy to Lewis at the point. At the top, she'll give it to Doherty, who loves the mid-range.
Lewis is a type of guard that will attack the basket. We've seen it a number of times throughout this tournament. You are going to have to stop her away from the basket because she's either going to score it or she's going to get to the free throw line where she leads the league in free throw percentage.
Really good, 86%. Aaron.
Coach Gardner said that Lewis, she just has a championship mentality. She's won 4 state championships in high school. She's a winner, and she absolutely loves the game. She's somebody that's such a difference maker on the court because she just goes so hard in everything that she does, every drill, every sprint. She's extremely vocal and has such passion for the game. It's contagious on their team.
Georgia State's head coach is one of Susie Gardner's best friends, and Susie Gardner says she didn't know much about Jada Lewis, but when Lewis wanted to go elsewhere as a grad transfer, she relied on her friend. And Lewis was a 4-time state titleist in high school in the Atlanta area at McEachern, just like Tate Walters of Furman won 4 state titles at her Atlanta area high school. So there's added value in knowing how to win at a high level.
This is a great dump off and execution of the 2-person game. Neil Ticer drawing defenders to her and finding her post player just to dump it off.
Matthews the finish. Helen Matthews had 11 points in the double overtime loss down in Macon. And Neil Ticer able to sneak inside. Moria Neil Ticer with her second field goal. She now has 5 points, and the Bears keep the 3-point lead. Move on here in the second quarter in Asheville, North Carolina. Matthews, strong penetration. She might be the key for Wofford to pull the upset today. Another field goal for her and back to a 1-point game.
Even if it's to your post player, you're going to have to make them work at it.
What a great find by Doherty on the cut by Harris, who will head to the line after Aaliyah Harris of Wofford picked up her first foul just moments ago. Now it's Lutz getting her second with 6 to go in the second quarter.
2 shots for Mercer.
Aaron.
After career nights by Amoria Neil Ticer, Coach Gardner said that she's done that throughout the season where she's gotten really hot. However, the guard has at times cooled off. And in a game like today where she only has 5 points, a little cooler than she has been all weekend, Coach Gardner said that we have plenty of other options. We need to be very deliberate about what we're doing on the offensive end, and that's how she's been in each huddle. Very deliberate about the sets that they want to run and what they're trying to do to gain an advantage on Wofford.
And it can help when you've got teammates that can go in and get an offensive rebound, as Mercer now has twice in this sequence.
Back-to-back rebounds by Jordan Doherty. We talked about her trying, might have to put the team on her back, and she's come up with some key baskets and those 2 really tremendous rebounds.
But the Bears get it back. They haven't scored in a while either. Doherty will try to change that.
In the previous game, she was able to find a nice rhythm off the glass. Now everything is either too hard or too low.
Doherty, 12 points in the opening half, 12 of their 27. Welcome back to Asheville, North Carolina, here at the 2021 Ingalls Southern Conference Basketball Championship presented by General Shale. The Mercer Bears went on a 12-4 run to close the opening half of play. Jada Lewis was on the bench during that time, their leader, with a couple of fouls. Here they are with a 9-point advantage, getting ready for the third quarter. And with Robin Muller, Pete Ganady with you, and Mercer a team potent offensively. I think you've got to give Mercer a lot of credit on the defensive end in that opening half for the reason they were able to build the nice working margin.
Absolutely. That was the difference in the first half. It wasn't that their offense, Mercer's that is, was not that stellar. They did have a lot of second shot opportunities, but the fact that they were able to hold Wofford to 0 baskets and then last 6.5 minutes was huge. And I think we'll see more of that heavy pressure defense throughout this second half. Wofford's going to have to find an answer, not just try to drive to the basket because of the shot blockers of the defense that Mercer's playing they're going to have to unify that offense throughout their team.
And on the defensive end, they've got to find an answer for Jaren Doherty, one of the first-team All-Socon players for the Bears. She had a fine first half. Doherty, over our first 20 minutes of play with 12.7 rebounds, coming off a couple of 18-point performances against the Terriers during the regular season.
Well, I felt pretty certain once she started getting some shots early in this ball game that she would be the one that would step up today and ensure that Mercer has an opportunity for the win. She second on the team and second in the conference in rebounding. Averages 16 points a game, which is second on Mercer's team. But today, 12 points, shooting very well. 50% better, and I expect her to continue that scoring pace in order for Mercer to come out and win this ball game.
She has been such a consistent player for Susie Gardner. What about Wofford trying to get back in this first ever appearance in a Southern Conference championship game? Here's Aaron.
Wofford head coach Jimmy Garrity not so worried about the team's defensive effort in the first half. However, it's their offense. He said that we just have been trying to force too many things on the offensive side. We need to relax. We've missed several bunnies and a lot of free throws. We get those back. This is a lot closer game. We need to share the ball more in the second half and get back to just playing our offensive flow.
And offensive flow will be important. The Terriers, in their regular season games against the Bears, managed 47 and then 74 points in double overtime, both losses. They certainly will need to do better than 25% from the field. I thought it was also interesting in the second chance point category off of the offensive boards that Mercer was able to get.
Yeah, they've been able to give themselves multiple opportunities on the offensive end. And then with their rebounding and that focus on rebounding, they certainly are creating more possessions for themselves.
But they've got to get in the way of this 11-0 run that's continuing for the Mercer Bears. And will stretch out to 13 as Neil Tyser finishes close to the basket. And Jimmy Garrity forced to use a timeout. Out of the locker room, he's seen the Mercer Bears build the lead out to 32-18. Take you to break here in Asheville, North Carolina. The Bears trying to bring the women's trophy back to Macon. Wofford beyond the arc is 2 of 6 in the game. Cook to beat the buzzer. Doherty had the rebound taken away. Turner couldn't finish inside. And eventually, Titus comes away with it. Lewis pushes the pace. Doherty. The feigned rebound for Neil Tyser. Terriers struggling in all facets offensively. Doherty. She's got 14. Under 4.5 to play in the third quarter, and Wofford has still not scored coming out of the locker room. Mary Martha Turner, she steps out. Just a 15% three-point shooter. Maybe that'll provide a spark for Wofford inside of a minute to go here in the third. Titus looks inside, and Boykin able to finish. Final seconds tick down. The Mercer Bears. Disappointment in 2020, but a return to the feeling of a champion here in 2021. Lewis getting a piggyback ride from her teammate Titus. Mercer celebrates the women's title. The men's semifinals and championship can be seen coming up on other ESPN platforms beginning at 5 p.m. with UNCG and ETSU. The Mercer Bears 60-38 victory. On behalf of Robin Muller and Aaron Summers, Pete Hannity saying so long from Asheville.